Welcome back to Speak Unspoken. I know it's been a minute. I've been off air for a month, but I was getting the studio ready for you guys so we can start filming and continue to film. I'm so excited today. Today episode is very near and dear to my heart because of certain things that does happen in the urban community. And so the last time I was on air, I had a professional tax preparer on, which was Mercy Woods, and she talked about the importance of having a professional to file your taxes so you won't get caught up in fraudulent tax returns and a possibility of people might be stealing your child's information, using it, selling it, or whatever the case may be. So with us ending on that note, I just felt like it would be a good segue to start the new year off with the importance of having life insurance coverage. So without further ado, I brought in a professional insurance agent, Roger Davis III, the founder of Lifeway Insurance Brokerage Company. The reason why I decided to do this episode because I've had many conversations with people in the urban community, and no one really want to talk about the seriousness around death and the impact that it brings on the family, right? People will do everything else, talk about everything else, but when it comes to securing their life at death and securing their family future, they don't want to talk about that. So Roger, I'm glad you decided to come on here and talk about that situation. Though you have wear a lot of many hats at your brokerage company, the one we're going to speak on today is about life leverage, right?
Yes.
And so we spoke, and you was like, friend, you would be surprised the things that people don't even consider that can help them not only build an insurance policy at death, but for the future, right? But we'll get into that later. So what made you want to get into the life, which you do a lot of things under the umbrella, but the life insurance side of it, like what drew you to that side of it?
Okay. Well, first, just want to thank you for having me. Just commend you for just stepping into your creative space. It's real inspiring, so thank you. And what got me started in insurance in itself, or at least what got me to the point to where I knew this was an industry that I wanted to pursue, just seeing how it was applicable to everyone and how instrumental it is to like our trajectory, and then also seeing just a huge gap in understanding and misinformation, and you know how they say knowledge is power. So just seeing that void just kind of gave me an assignment that I understood, and so happy to be here.
Right. An assignment he understood, right? And that's an assignment that I understood and understand. So I'm going to just give a backstory to why this is so important to me. When I was like probably 25, 26, the burden of burying a loved one fell in my lap. And I always said that wasn't fair to me, to come up with 10 grand because the family, this is the thing. One thing about family and one thing about the person who they feel like succeeded, the burdens always fall on them financially all the time, right? And so even back then, I cried about it. And I said, that's not fair, right? But this was somebody that was near and dear to me. So I went on ahead and I did it. But I always told myself, like, if I could ever get an opportunity to explain the importance of coverage, life insurance coverage, like I would want to do that, not knowing it would be this long before, I have a platform to speak with a professional about the importance of it. But I always knew, like, we need someone advocating for this in the community. So with that, Roger, like when you go out into the urban community, like what do you see happening when you talk to these people about life insurance? Like when you notice like, oh, you don't have life insurance, and how old are you? Like, What are their response to you?
Most people are, and that's a heavy story. That's quite a heavy burden to bear, especially at a young age. But most people tend to just have just a level of ignorance. There's really no sense of urgency. I think we all tend to take the day-to-day for granted, whether that's like our nature or not. But it's a lot of unawareness. I think we have these assumptions. There's a lot of pre-assumptions that maybe they can't afford it, or maybe it doesn't work. It's a scam. But overall, I'd say most people are just nonchalant, unaware, and just have like this fleeing pursuit of it. Just, oh yeah, I've been meaning to do that, but something they never really get around to.
Right. And so that's why I felt like right now is tax season, right? And so right now will be a time where in the urban community, a lot of times that's when people normally have a lump sum of money.
Yep.
And this is the time where I feel like it's very important for you to connect with someone that can get you covered. Because what I do know, and you can attest to this, the older you get, the more the premium costs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I mean, I believe my viewers are between like 25 and 50 maybe, right? And so even in that, like, it's very important that you understand like coverage is important right now. And so with the extras, you can pay up a premium for a year.
Exactly.
Probably under $1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't understand, as honestly, sometimes as little as $1 a day can at least get you buried.
Exactly.
Right?
Definitely.
Okay. So on average, what does a premium normally cost someone?
So like you mentioned, it has a lot to do with age, mortality rate, gender. But for the case study of someone 25 to say 35, depending on the type of insurance, because there are different levels to it, we'll just say on the lower end of the spectrum, someone getting about $500,000 in term might pay somewhere between $15 to $25, maybe $30 a month, just depending on health and things of that nature. But term insurance is more of an expense, if you will. There's a lot of there's more value that can be attained through getting death benefit, and yeah.
Okay, so you say did you say $500,000 or $250,000?
I'd say $500,000.
$500,000?
Mm-hmm.
So you say it's as small as $25 a month?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's term, right?
That's term.
So what about, because term, it has an expiration date, right?
Yes, it's usually issued in like 10, 15, up to 30-year chunks. Depending on your age, determines what bandwidth you're eligible for.
Okay.
But yeah, it's an expense. Some of them come with endorsements that return the premium back to you after you've paid it over the years. So you could look at that as a form of savings, but you don't accumulate any interest. And if you miss a payment, then the policy is forfeited. So It's not necessarily
the best.
Yeah, the most strategic, but if cost is your barrier, that is a way to just jump into it and then make sense of it later. Get something, because it costs less than buying McDonald's and all those examples you may or may not heard, but
right.
Get something.
Right. Definitely get some type of coverage. So you've been doing this for quite some time. So if you had to talk to a group of people, what type of insurance product do you think would be a reasonable and favorable for the insurer?
Well, what I tell a lot of people is that insurance provides assurance, and it's a strategy. It's not a solve all. It's not one solution fix everything. So as far as what I would recommend for someone, depending on where they are in life, it has everything to do with where you are in life. What I'll say is there's an insurance product for every step of that. the more people that depend on you, the more the need is. So not to say if you're single with, young with no children, that you don't need it, because there are still people that bear the responsibility of burying you, should that be, the worst case. But yeah, it really has to do with where you are. So don't let price be what restricts you, and don't let the lack of information be what restricts you. Every strategy, financial strategy, begins with risk management, begins with life protection, life insurance. Yeah.
Okay.
So start there.
Start there, right? But the thing is, you just got to start with an end in mind, right? And so, man, it's so many stories that I can talk about right now, because not only did that happen to me with one of my relatives, that also done happen to me, Roger, in friendships.
Yeah.
Like some of my friends that done passed away, right? And they, have GoFundMes and different things like that. And then you contributing to those, and not saying that things like that should be embarrassing, but it should be embarrassing because it's so many things that we can do to avoid all that, right?
Yeah.
And so even when I was just looking at different statistics and things like that, and not, trying to minimize the urban community, but a lot of Caucasian people and other ethnicities, they use insurance for a life leverage, to leave behind generational wealth for their families. So a lot of people don't even know that insurance can leverage the life after death. You know what I'm saying? So can you explain what, probably don't know the right term that I'm trying to say, but what is that called?
So a term that we've came up with, instead of life insurance, it should be, in my opinion, termed a life leverage policy.
Okay.
Understanding how it works, you really have to look back at how things have came together. Life insurance companies have been around, if not, in most cases, longer than most traditional banks. They're designed to serve this purpose. You can leverage life policies, obviously, to acquire death benefit in the event that something happens prematurely. But as you're putting money into these instruments, the carriers are investing your dollars and earning interest. And just like a phone rather, it used to be about you being able to make a phone call. Now we expect to send emails, download apps, play games. So the same thing with these life insurance instruments. As time has progressed, as the consumer has become more aware, we've just evolved. And these products, these modern day products, can earn guaranteed interest. They are accessible. There are no barriers or age limit requirements, and they're tax-free. So, that is kind of where the conversation begins and ends. There's no financial instrument out there that can yield interest and the proceeds not be taxed. And then again, like I mentioned, access, with tax deferred, some of you may be familiar with, 401s, IRAs, but these are tax deferred instruments where you're taxed later, which is still, you want to fill as many financial buckets as possible. If you have a 401 and your employer matches, definitely contribute up to that matching limit. You want to leverage, keyword leverage, as many things as you can. And but life insurance is where it begins. And along with access, along with tax-free interest, your 401 isn't going to guarantee you a death benefit amount. And yeah.
So what you're explaining, what is the term though? What's the term?
So they call this cash value accumulation.
Okay.
So depending on the product, the carrier may guarantee an interest rate, or they might have what they call a separate account. You have your general account where your monthly premium dollars go into, and then they'll take a portion of it and put it into a separate account that's indexed or following a particular stock, or maybe a stock index that is consistent of different stocks. But along with that, what you can't find in a tax deferred instrument is the protection.
Okay.
So if the markets were to underperform, the carriers will what they call establish like a floor. In most cases, they say zero is your hero because when when the markets are performing negatively, they'll stop you at 0%, just buying you more time. So it's like a fail-proof strategy. And then on the upside of things, depending on the product, Index Universal Life, being one in particular, the interest that you can earn can be up to 13 to 15%. So just imagine sharing in those, that financial crisis of 2007, 2008, where people lost half of their retirement and all that. That's because there weren't any built-in protections. So you don't lose the benefit of being able to leverage the stock market, but you also aren't exposed to the market, and it's tax-free, and you got access. It's just one of them things. Once you know, it's hard to do things differently.
Right. Man, do things differently, definitely. And so even with doing things differently, even in my own life and people that I know, a lot of times people feel like because they have a job and they have life insurance on their job, you still should have coverage outside of your job because it's not always guaranteed that that's going to be your job. So like I said, the older you get, the more it costs to be insured, right? So just for the sake of numbers, say if you get a job and you're 22 years old, right? You got a $250,000 premium. Through your job, it's probably costing you $25 every 2 weeks or, once a month or whatever. So imagine you working on that job from 25 to 45 and then they decide to lay you off, right? You're no longer covered. Am I correct?
So you have a certain amount of time, and then depending on the job, they may continue to extend the insurance, but at a certain multiple. So whatever you were paying now becomes a lot more because the employer is not sharing in the cost. And then another thing with people that have insurance through their jobs in retirement, those premiums, because keep in mind, nobody is going to invest in you at the level you're willing to invest in yourself. They're offering you insurance, but it's not top tier. They wouldn't, interest earning policies, they're not going to invest in you at that level. So a lot of these policies are termed, and they're what they call guaranteed renewable, meaning that at 30 years, because you've maintained your payments, they will offer you more coverage, but it's going to be at a higher price. And every 3 to 5 years, it's going to double, triple. So it gets to the point to where that term policy that you bought at 22 years old, that was only taking $10 out of your check, you're now, at retirement age, let's say. And then also think about the time that you've lost. Once this policy is expiring and renewing at this ridiculous amount, say when you do decide to go shopping, you're now 65 years old, those products aren't available to you. Nobody wants interest, and time is not necessarily on your side. And that's not to discourage anyone, because they do have more advanced products that fit that criteria these days. But generally speaking, time is why this works and how it can work in everyone's life. It's no gimmick. The Fed and all that, they're printing money. It's a science equation to life. And as time, assuming everything remains constant, you continue to make your payment, then all of the math makes sense.
So, man, all of the math makes sense until it don't make sense anymore. I got so many stories around this subject because it's been so prevalent in my family, right? So you also got to be careful and not saying nothing is wrong with them, but be careful of the mom and the pop insurance companies. You know, the kind that come around in the hood and you pay them cash on you know how they come pick the money up?
Like the old school way, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, seriously, Roger, this happened to my mom.
Yeah.
So my mom had coverage from this one company. I won't say the name, which it's not the company's fault. It's the agent's fault.
Yeah.
So the insurance man was coming to collect my mom's premium every month.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
But guess what? He was not paying it.
Oh.
He was not sending it to the insurance company.
Yeah.
So once the insurance company contact my mom, they was like, Miss Tatum, your account is about to be, your premium is about to be canceled because we haven't received payment from you. I want to say probably 4 or 5 months. It was something like that.
Okay.
And my mom was like, whatever the man's name was, I pay him every month, blah, blah, blah. And they said, yeah, we got him under investigation. He been taking people premium.
Wow.
And so you feeling like I'm trusting this person. And that's why I'm saying, like, I have so many real life stories. But it's like I'm trusting this person to do the right thing, and they didn't even do the right thing. And so even I got involved with it, right? And I was telling the insurance company, like, well, if y'all normally know that this man was taking advantage of people and taking their money and not sending in their premium, why would you drop them? And they was like, well, we can't prove that, your mom was paying or any other people. And it's like, but you already had him under investigation. But make a long story short, by the time that happened to my mom, my mom is 74 now. So this must happen when she was like 71. So imagine what that premium cost at that time.
Yeah.
And so with that, and then with the health issues because certain things she didn't have before she got into this coverage. But as the years went on, things happened with her health, and then that. And so, man, she would be insured at such a low premium, but at a high price, right?
Yeah.
And so she still need insurance. So she don't even have the same coverage. And I'm telling you, she don't even have the same coverage that she used to have. Like my mom at this point have enough coverage to be buried.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah.
Yes. And the amount that she's paying for that premium, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. So death benefit is the word. It's in insurance, they don't necessarily refer to it as a payment, but they say premium. So I paid the premium, but to get the death benefit. The death benefit is the policy part that pays out. And yeah, that's real unfortunate. I'm not too familiar with just going door to door. I've heard stories.
No, I'm telling you, they do it in the urban community.
Yeah.
Yes, you got your insurance agent assigned to that particular area, and every month they come around the 1st through the 3rd of the month, and they collect your money.
Wow.
And their obligation is to send it to the insurance company.
Well, so a few things. Knowing who to trust, and we can start with the company itself. So a lot of you may wonder, like, how do you determine what company is the right company? So, and this is just from my perspective, my opinion. You have stock insurance companies. Those are the ones owned by investors. And there are others too, but you have mutual insurance companies where the policy owners actually own the company. The benefit of that is those companies declare dividends and they redistribute them to the policy owners. So that is one leverage that could be built into why your policy is so robust, why the interest builds so fast. So you want to find a carrier that you get the right type of carrier, depending on the need. And the way you can look into them is look up their credit score. They have scores as well. You'll want to deal with a carrier that's at least A+ or A rated. And then also check out their track record. A lot of these companies, whether they've been bought by some parent company, but a lot of them have been around for touching 200 years before the modern day tax code, before a lot of these things. So when you know the history about it, it makes more sense. A lot of us just don't. We trust banks because they're constantly marketing to us. And a lot of us are just not savvy, and we've followed what others have done. And then as far as the agent, there's a lot of insurance in the industry. It's a lot of people that play on ignorance in this industry. How to vet your agent. It's you don't have a long run. insurance is a marathon. You don't have a long run when you do things like that. You're regulated by the state. You can, however, go to your state insurance, Department of Insurance website or Department of Finance, depending on the state that you're in, and you can look up these professionals. You can request the license number of these professionals. But like you mentioned, he was licensed, but he was under time, just had to run his course. So it's just very unfortunate. And so I would say, stay away from the cash payments. Just set yourself up for
automatic draft.
Yeah, automatic draft. And like we brought up in the beginning, tax season, a lot of times you can set the payment frequency on your policy. It does not have to be monthly. If you find yourself with an influx of income, generally between February and March, just allocate a few of those dollars, probably less than $200 for the whole year. Say, you got a couple kids, you're getting your 6, 7, rightfully so, about 6 to 7 back. I know some people getting they 15, 20 back, whatever they got going. But take a part of that and just establish your legacy, establish the protection. Begin with the end in mind. Right. Insurance is you taking little sums of money and locking in large sums. Why? What sound strategy could begin anywhere else but there? If you're hardworking, you value taking care of your family, you can leave the house knowing that worst come to worst, you've accomplished that goal. You're insured at $1 million, whether it's term and it expires in 30 years and only costs you $100 a month to be insured at $1 million. At least you can just have that assurance that if anything were to occur, my family is set. I got it done. And it's this saying, I got it on the back of my card. It escapes me now. But it says something like, life becomes liberating when you do it prepared.
Repeat that again.
Life becomes liberating when you do it prepared, or when you live it prepared. Just meaning like you'll have a renewed perspective and this sense of like confidence that you're doing the right thing. A lot of us may wake up every day, we go to work, but we still kind of question, am I doing what I need to be doing? But I think it solves that riddle. Yeah.
That's good. Okay. I'm gonna put that quote in the description so y'all won't forget it. Yes. So Roger, he definitely have a lot of things going on. He also have a nonprofit organization called the Lifeway Project, where when storms come and different things like that, they do a lot of preparation. They give out food, water, diapers, anything that's an essential during that time. Also, like I stated before, his agency does more than just life leverage coverage. They do a multitude of a lot of things, but we'll talk about that on another segment. But I just wanted to come today and bring it, just do a full circle. Like I said, I talked about the importance of filing your taxes properly, and so even with that, like he said, right now, February, March, people will have an influx of money on hand. And this is the time to really cover your family because, like I said before, it's not fair, and like this subject is very important to me, even in my own immediate family. Like, I even have to carry the responsibility of paying people premiums. So it won't fall on me if something was to happen. I never want anything to happen to them. But if that was to occur, like, they're covered, So I just want to say thank you for coming out. And is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I'd like to share. Just recently in my own life, just lost a family member October 18th. And, just helping comb through their documents in preparation. He had a policy through his job that was, or so he thought, that was almost 30-something years old, 40 years old. He had about 3 policies, but ironically, the lowest tier of policy, the term policy that he had for 30 years, I might have sold to him back in 2014. That was the only policy still active. Paid out a little over $250,000. And I just say all that to say, it's real. It is real. The numbers you see on on these papers and the carrier standing behind them are just as real as that bank that you trust, if not realer, if not more stable. The things they invest in are less volatile. So, just explore it. It's going to show itself time and time again. You can't run from it, but just address it. Face it one day. It's a necessity. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to coming back. There's so many subjects we can cover. Insurance is omnipresent. Doesn't matter if you're a horse breeder, they got blood stock insurance. It's just whatever lane you're in, it's a conversation we can have.
Oh, wow. A blood breeder.
Blood stock.
Oh, blood stock. Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. But no, y'all, I'm so serious. Like I told y'all, like, I wanted this platform to be about conversations that people really don't speak about, right? And like I say, a lot of times in our community, we shy away from that. Like, people like, I don't want to talk about that. Well, you might call somebody dog, or, the suspicion of, but we got to talk about it. We got to have our things in order. We got to have our paperwork in order. Even this not part of the conversation, but I want to say this. Even like your documentation, like you said, have it all in one folder. So in case something do happen to you, people don't got to go digging through drawers and stuff like that. Have a folder, have it documented exactly what it is, and have all your important stuff in there. Like, it's not fair to the family. They're already grieving enough, right? And then to try to figure out if you're covered, if you're not, how much it is, it's just a lot. So you put your hand in.
I'd say this, depending on where you are with it, if you got shoebox money or however you live in, just, put that policy, that piece of paper underneath wherever you put, you hide your money at, it's just as valuable. It's just as securing for your future. So.
Okay. So he's talking to the shoebox folks, right? He's saying regardless to what, still have a policy,
exactly.
Right? Because, and that'd be a lot of time, the shoebox people, they have all this flashy stuff, but then when it's time to go, they can't be buried. Exactly. And it's not fair, right? And then the family can't find the money, or there ain't no money at all because all you was doing was capping. So, but that's another story within itself, right? But I just want to say thank you guys for being patient. I know it's been a month. I know. I was trying to get the set together. It was the holidays, so shipment was a little slow. But now we back up and running. You see it? Speak Unspoken. You see it. So this episode will be dropping on Tuesday, like all the episodes been dropping. And I just want to say thank you guys for being patient with me. I pray that you continue to rock with me. I pray that you decide to come on the show and tell your story and tell your Speak Unspoken, because the world needs to hear it. Like I told you, this platform was created for the everyday, ordinary people, right? Everybody not a celebrity, so everybody not going to be seen. But on this platform, you will be seen and you will be heard. So I just want to say again, Roger, thank you so much. And until next time, Speak Unspoken. Peace.